What's going on, everybody? It's Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of Unscripted. It is Tuesday night. You know what that means. I have some of the biggest, the baddest, the best wrestlers today and talent today of yesteryear. And this night is no different. Listen, man, this guy is just an absolute legend in the business, in the world of professional wrestling journalism. I met him when I was writing for Sports Illustrated. This is probably back in 2000 and I don't know. This had to be around 14. Let's be on 14 or 15. We met through me writing for Sports Illustrated, and he sent me he gave me a call, sent me a link to his book. I promoted his book, and we had plenty of conversations ever since then. He's given me so many pointers while I was writing for just many outlets, Sports Illustrated, Fox Sports, and phone conversations with him is great. He's one of my biggest inspirations in the pro wrestling journalism world. He's just a plethora of wealth of talent, a wealth of knowledge, and is definitely a well that never runs dry in the professional wrestling business. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the legendary Bill Apter. How are you tonight, my man?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just reading this book.
It's Wrestling Fixed.
I was enjoying my pretzels waiting for the show here.
Very nice. Very nice.
Hi, Chris. It's great to see you, and thank you everybody for tuning in. And I'm thrilled to be here. And thank you for that wonderful introduction.
My pleasure, man.
I'm very flattered by your work. And I do remember when we met the first time.
Absolutely.
You were very polite.
Thank you.
Were an absolute gentleman, and I appreciated all the things you said back then as well. And I love the show here.
Thank you. I appreciate all your support.
I'm a big fan of Unscripted and SportsKida.
Yes, indeed. Speaking of Sportskeeda, you've got a big announcement to let the fans know.
You know, I wanted to keep this in the bag until it was the right time and the right place. In here, the announcement. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
No drum rolls or anything?
You know what? I got drum roll. I got you. You ready? Here we go.
Better an egg roll. I'm hungry.
I had my drum. You know what? I'll do a live drum roll. You know
That's
what?
all right. Go for it.
Guess what? I actually used to play the African drums when I was a kid.
Well, I
So
I play my sparkling ice.
I'll give you a live drum roll. You ready? Here we go.
Go for it. Ladies and gentlemen, the announcement is in here, and no tables will be broken, and no one's going to come in, that Bill Apter has signed an exclusive deal with Sportskeeda.
Very nice.
Yes,
Very nice.
yeah. I have been following Sportskeeda, the wrestling section, for forever. One of my former people that I mentored for a long time, Ryan Bowman, is one of their terrific feature writers.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be in the capacity of writing columns, guesting on great shows like this, doing videos. I will be an advisor to the entire staff. And Bill Apter, a.k.a. Wonderful Willie, has many other surprises that you will be able to find and see on the Sportskeeda Pro Wrestling Network. And I am absolutely thrilled to be here.
Indeed, man. You know, the roster just keeps getting better and better and better. This is the hottest pro wrestling journalism site in the business, if you will, of pro wrestling. And
wait. Will you just give me your Dusty Rhodes?
I said business, if you will, baby. You better believe it, baby.
So you see, Chris Featherstone, all my little babies all over the world, if you will, have been asking,
baby. My hand in your hand,
coming on SportsKida, baby.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Awesome, man. It's a pleasure to have you a part of the staff. It just, like I said, it just keeps getting better, and you're such an amazing addition to the team, man. We really appreciate you being with us.
I started 2 days ago, and now I'm shouting it from the Apter's Alley top.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
You ready to get into these questions?
Oh, absolutely. That's why I'm here. You know, I love my my show is called The Apter Chat.
That's right.
On One Wrestling Video, BillApter.com.
Yep.
But now I'm going to be doing videos for SportsKida, and fans will see and hear more of me here than anywhere else.
Very nice. We'll start with Riju asking, do you think Ric Flair can bounce back after the recent Dark Side controversy?
Great question, Riju, and the answer is yes. He's already bounced back. He's done a lot of appearances, a lot of conventions, and the lines for Ric Flair haven't diminished at all. I think the fans see back then, and this is almost terrible to say, but back then people looked the other way in the wrestling business. It was like being a rock star. All this stuff went on. Nobody talked about it. Had there been I always said this about people, not just about wrestlers, but like the Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and Joey Bishop
Sammy
and
Davis Jr.
Peter Lawford, that if there was an internet back then, they would have been in jail every night. So this was the same thing with sports entertainment, wrestling people, with football players, boxers, because I used to travel with a lot of boxing people too. So back then it wasn't as public, and now it's coming out, and it's like, but this is what the business was like. Unfortunately, in a lot of ways back then, the guys just wanted to have fun, and it did hurt a lot of people. And when it came out, a lot of people are upset about it. But I think Ric Flair has already bounced back because people are looking at. They still want to meet him.
Oh yeah,
no matter what.
Yep.
Yeah, and what he did, if he did what he did, was wrong. And he was quite a social character back then. That's the best way I can put it.
Yes, indeed.
Woo!
Woo!
Actually, on the cover of my book, there's I don't know if you can see that. There's a picture of he and I the night he won the NWA championship.
Very nice.
In Kansas City from Harley Race. Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
Anyway, So thank you, Raju, for that great question.
Indeed. Rorito is asking, greetings from Puerto Rico, Mr. Apter. What has been the best wrestler you interviewed? And what wrestling angle do you think changed the wrestling industry as we know it today?
Well, that's a great question. And by the way, I used to love covering wrestling in Puerto Rico. Carlos Colon and Victor Jovica used to invite me down all the time.
World Wrestling Council.
And I photographed so many matches between Carlos and Abdullah the Butcher. I'm amazed both of them were able to replenish the blood that was dripping from their heads. Let me take part two first. Wrestling angle that really wasn't a wrestling angle that changed the industry as we know it today was when WWE took over WCW. That changed the entire world. It cut down on the major competitive part of the business. Best wrestler I ever interviewed, there's a lot of them. On the entertainment type of side, of course, it's the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, baby.
When you talk about a wrestler who was an athlete, who was a personification of an excellent interview throughout my whole 50 years of covering pro wrestling, that would be the legendary Bruno Sammartino. Absolutely. Bruno was just an amazing interview.
Nice.
He was a gentleman. He always answered every question. He never dodged anything, and he never refused an interview with me.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you, Rorito, and I hope eventually to come back down. One of the other people that I was very dear friends with was Pedro Morales, who was from Culebra. I am ready for any kind of action, baby. And I went to his home in Culebra, and I love Puerto Rico. It's just a wonderful place to be.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll be back one day.
I've been once, and I would love to go again.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll go together.
Let's do it.
A tag team.
Let's do it.
A journalistic tag team.
The Featherstone. That's what we're going to be called. The Featherstone.
I like that. Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go to Guillermo.
Hello, Guillermo.
What would you consider to be the greatest scandal in wrestling history?
Oh, my goodness. Probably the steroid scandal that took place ages ago with Vince McMahon. That was one. And this a lot of people were trying to put the kibosh on Fabulous Moolah and the way she treated a lot of the girls.
Yeah.
So that would be another one of those scandals.
Yeah.
And
WWE blacklisted her.
Yeah. And I think that, but I think the first one that I mentioned was really the biggest scandal that I remember.
Yeah.
Except the scandal that I had an affair with Mae Young. It is not true.
Very nice. Let's go to
great questions, by the way. Thank you for
very good questions.
Yeah. I'm SportsKida. I got the SportsKida fever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Aaron's asking, which current wrestler would have fared best in 70s and 80s?
Oh, I think, when I talk about opponents for Bruno and Pedro and people like that, Brock Lesnar would have been fabulous. Man, Bruno Sammartino against Brock Lesnar would have been a dream match for me. Because
how about Brock versus Brad Rheingans?
Yeah, he was the typical. No, I wouldn't put Brad Rheingans in there against who I mentioned.
You wouldn't put him against Brock?
No, I'm talking about Bruno and Brock.
Oh, yeah. Bruno and Brock makes sense.
Yeah,
but...
I mean, that would have been or Pedro. And because back then the WWF was made of these monsters. And my God, Brock Lesnar would have been incredible back then. I would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar against superstar Billy Graham.
There you go.
Yeah.
What do you think about what do you think about an MJF back then, since he's really good on the mic?
Well, he's good on the mic, but if it depends what territory he would have been in.
Gotcha.
I think he would have been too small for the WWF.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been very good in the National Wrestling Alliance, wrestling people like Mike Graham, Steve Kern, Jack Briscoe, Dory Funk. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's got an AWA feel to him too, like a Bockwinkel type of feel.
Oh, he absolutely does. But I think I don't know if I have that feel like a Bockwinkel, because I knew Nick Bockwinkel really well in terms of
your opinion's
person
biased
and
Bill
the
Apter.
wrestler. What's that?
I say your opinion's biased, Bill Apter.
No, I'm not being biased. I'm just, I'm taking the guys that you're mentioned. I think MJF, once he matures, may have that Bockwinkel air about him. But Bockwinkel was not the mouth that MJF is. MJF is 70% mouth, in my opinion, and he's great at it. He really is. He's a spoiled brat from Long Island. I grew up with a lot of spoiled brats from Long Island. I didn't become one, but yeah. So I'm going back to my original choice, and that would have been Brock Lesnar. I think he would have been this bully that everybody would have tried to stop. He would have been great in any territory back then. I could see him against Brad Rheingans of course, in AWA. I could see him against Jack Briscoe or Dory Funk Jr. in the NWA.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Aaron. Great question.
Absolutely. Elvis is asking, what match would you like to see that hasn't happened and why?
Well, thank you, Elvis. I love your name, by the way. I really do. I was an Elvis fan, of course. That hasn't happened. Wow. Well, if we're talking current, I want to see The Rock and Roman Reigns.
Yes, likewise.
I think we all do. I think there's a fever for that particular match. At this point, I'd like to see CM Punk against Edge. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I'd like to see cross-promotion matches. I think at this point, AEW and WWE. Chris, who would you pick to wrestle Roman Reigns from AEW?
I would go, as far as current AEW star, let's go with I would do Omega.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would do Omega.
Get well, Kenny. We need you for the crossover matches.
Yeah. Speaking of crossover matches, what are your thoughts on WWE not doing crossover matches? AEW is real big on going through the forbidden door. They've worked with ROH stars, New Japan stars, NWA stars. But WWE is very exclusive to their talent. Why do you think that's the case? And why do you think WWE hasn't went there yet?
Once in a while, WWF would bring in NWA guys.
Yeah.
But no, WWE strictly brings in their own guys. They've got to sign with WWE. Yeah. So what do I think of that?
Yeah.
I'd love to see crossover stuff. Maybe down the road that'll become more typical when they see that people like that in AEW, and also it'll may cut down on the amount of people that AEW keeps bringing in if WWE invites some of those people.
Yeah, good point.
What did you think about, and I'm going to ask the fans this too, what did you think about Jay Lethal losing his initial match?
Good question.
AEW, because I was surprised. I was waiting for a title change there. And he looked really good.
He's gotten in
Jay Lethal all the way. And he's back there. He's part of the roster. I don't think losses hurt AEW guys like it hurts guys in WWE for some reason. I think the AEW guys he lost that match. He's coming back next week against another guy. So.
Well, to answer your question, wasn't a big fan of it. Jay Lethal is actually number one on my current top 5 list. Has been for about 4 or 5 years now.
He's amazing.
Big Jay Lethal fan. I've interviewed him and I've met him multiple times. Very nice guy.
Yeah.
And it's I was a big fan of the fact of him getting a spot, after the ROH thing, that he got a spot in AEW. But it's funny because I end up watching. I watched Full Gear live, and when he made that announcement that he was going to go against Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship, I said, "Oh." Like I didn't like the announcement. I didn't want him to do that because it was just, for me, it was just like, okay, well, he's going to lose the match.
Yeah,
and I think
I
Jay
didn't think
Lethal
that.
should have been pumped up a little bit more.
I didn't think that. I didn't think he was
really.
Gonna
Yeah,
I thought there was going to be. I thought they were going to switch the. And I'll tell you something. Sammy Guevara has become such a choice wrestling athlete to watch in that ring. He's absolutely amazing. He's just going to get better and better as he matures.
Yeah, I would have been totally fine if Jay Lethal won the title. I think it would have been a good idea. It would have been a good decision. I don't think it would have hurt Sammy Guevara. Both of them are very, very well liked, so I don't think it would have hurt Guevara. But Sammy Guevara is so red hot right now, so I knew that they weren't going to take the title off him because he's one of the hottest, as far as momentum is concerned.
Well, wait a minute. You knew they weren't going to take the title off him, but if Jay Lethal would have trained properly, he probably would have beaten him. I go to third game.
Maybe there's a chance in the near future, but I hope they give Jay Lethal a really good spot. But yeah, to answer your question, I wasn't a fan of him losing his first match.
Yeah, neither was I. Neither was I. Oh yeah, maybe he'll come back and win it.
Yeah, black machismo. Yeah,
that's right, brother.
Kevin's asking, with all the releases, do you think WWE is going down, or do you think they will rise again?
No, hold on a minute. I'm just. What were you talking about a minute ago? I heard my name mentioned. All right. Anyway, hold on. I just
cup of coffee. Yeah.
I'm back. With all the no, WWE will not go down. It's amazing to me. And Kevin, thank you for chiming in here. No, WWE is not going to go down. WWE is a $1 zillion publicly traded stock company. They have TV deals everywhere around the world. If they lose some of their viewership, they're going to gain it in other parts of the world. No, WWE is not going to go down, no matter who bests them in the ratings, etc. They are still the brand name that most people know at this particular time. So no, it's too big of a corporation to just go down because they're releasing people.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. And lastly, the Vishal is asking, is wrestling fixed?
You know what? Is everybody listening? I didn't know it was broken.
Nice. Let the listeners know about your book, man.
Yeah, my book's been out 6 years now. This past October is Wrestling Fixed. I didn't know it was broken. It was a story of my my life in the wrestling business that keeps going on and on. Wonderful Willie's not going to get out of here because, like I said, I got the SportsKida fever.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
This is the next part of my ongoing career. I have time, Chris. If we have any other questions, I can still stick around for a little while.
Very nice.
So,
cool.
I'm having a good time. I hope everybody out there is. Well, and by the way, I'm also looking to one of the things for Sportskeeda is some of the people that worked with me at the now defunct OneWrestling.com. Bob Ryder, rest in peace. I'm hoping to bring some of the talent from OneWrestling.com over to Sportskeeda as well.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Well, we're going to go ahead and close there. We got to bring you back on really soon, man.
I would love to do this.
Yeah,
we could do the Chris and Bill show.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Hey, I'm a big fan of that.
Hey, if the powers that be are watching this, we could and have a guest every week. Would not be a bad idea. We'll have to see. This will. I know you have a contract with them to do this solely, but
I think there's a good
I want to
idea
thank everybody.
here.
Oh, well, you know something, Macho Man. Anyway,
okay, Mega Powers.
Thank all the. I want to thank all the people that have been following me through through all these years, and continue to follow me. And you can follow me on Twitter at Apter1Wrestling. That's the number 1. It's an paying homage to the website that I worked for so many years, and everything I do with Sportskeeda. You will all get the Sportskeeda fever from me because I will be tweeting everything I do on there as well. And you can follow me on Facebook. And don't be insulted if I don't friend you, because I generally don't friend people who I don't know.
Yes,
so, but maybe next time I come back, we can do a little tour of Apter's Alley with all the memorabilia that I have down here.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Bill, it's been a pleasure, man. It's great chatting with you again, man.
Pleasure's been all mine, Chris. So thank you, everybody. And as I always say, first of all, keep the Sportskeeda fever, and I'll see you and you, Chris, at the matches.
Awesome.
That's a wrap.
Have a good night.
We'll go back to reading.